Hi YouTube, hi TikTok. I love that Theo said Yulia might be a little late because she's asleep. Yeah, she's asleep. Well, Yulia is actually battling one of the worst stomach aches she's ever had. But I'm going to start on the news and see how I feel because it doesn't seem to go away. I don't like taking meds. So I'm just going to be drinking some water and trying not to feel as crappy as I do. Hi Jen and hi Lauren. Um, so Yulia was not necessarily super asleep. Yulia was dying in her bed, but I apologize for a severe delay. I am just really, really feeling awful. Sorry. No sound. Okay. So my microphone died. How about now? How about now? My microphone died, so because I forgot. Well, I didn't forget. I just literally didn't charge it because I was asleep. Thank you, Rue. Um, okay, so that whole tirade, hi, Karine, was me saying that it wasn't necessarily that I was asleep. I just have a really bad stomach ache, and so I'm going to try and do the news despite. And if I still continue to feel crappy, then I might cut it short, but I will try to do. Hi, Rena. Hi, Jen. Hi, Veronica. Hi. Hi, Baz. Hi, James. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Shugu. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Rue. Thank you, Rue. Hi, everyone. And are in high school now. I feel old. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Rue, but that's so good though. High school is good. Kids are growing up, but I know it's sad because they're so big. They're now adults. But yeah, so basically, I'm gonna try to stay awake and not awake. I'm gonna try to stay okay. Hi, Sasha. Good to see you too. But yeah, so hopefully my stomach ache disperses by the time that we're done with the news. But so far, I'm just gonna persevere, and then we'll see if I can't. If I don't feel better, then I might cut it short. But if I feel okay, then we're just gonna go with that. Now, let me update you on the fundraiser. So yesterday, I calculated how much we have gathered together with PayPal and Venmo, and it's $6,600. I was way off before. I thought that it would be between 6,700 and 6,900, but it's $6,600 unless I made a mistake in calculations, which I don't think so because I calculated every single donation in through PayPal, and my Venmo balance is pretty much, with an exception of $20 for coasters, all for donations. So it's $6,600 even. Hi, Gap. And thank you, Praxis. So nice of you. Praxis says, hey, damn, I guess I'll have to be nice and not give you crap for sleeping in and being late then. Yeah, it grew a lot. It definitely grew a lot. 6,600 is a big amount, and I am very, very proud and very thankful to you guys. You are incredible. Thank you, Chris. American stands with Ukraine. I see French do too, or Quebecois. 29-year-old daughter is aggravating today. Yeah, my mom can't believe that I'm almost 30. Hi, Lauren. Good to see you. Yeah, Theo donated $50 this morning, or yeah, well, at some point either during the night or this morning. So yeah, Theo put us at 6,600 from 6,550. So a round of applause for Theo, who might not be here yet, or might be on YouTube. Or maybe I just didn't notice because, well, my attention span right now is a little groggy. So there have been 22,000 strikes on civilian infrastructure in Ukraine. And I wanted to say that for anything that Amnesty was saying to justify Russian strikes on Ukraine, or to say that Ukrainian soldiers put the population in danger by creating bases in the highly civilian populated areas, 22,000 strikes on civilian infrastructure. Whatever you want to say, that is not real. That is not a real situation where Ukrainian army has been present in every single civilian object that Russians bombed. 22,000 strikes on civilian areas. That is not because there is military there. That is because they're indiscriminately striking on civilian population. Oh, hi, Theo. Theo says that the donation was this morning. Thank you, Theo. I also just realized that I forgot to put my second earring on. And that's that when you are trying to do the news while not feeling super 100%. I'm just going to take it off because it's going to bother me. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, their sources, well, they were now denying that their sources were infiltration camps, but at this point, I don't believe them one bit, to be honest. Yeah, Ukraine Special Forces had a big boom surprise in Crimea today. Hi, Joe. Let's see. I was reading a little bit of the news earlier when I was trying to rest before the stream. When I was trying to rest my stomach and before the stream, I was reading a little bit of the news. And there were some interesting updates about, oh, come on, Ukraine now. There were some interesting updates about some things that Russians said. So one, okay, let's talk. Let me see. There were a couple of very interesting things. I just want to scroll way up to get to all of those things today. Okay. Okay, so Kyiv has this app. So Kyiv, hi Gorilla Joe. Kyiv, the city, has a transportation app. And in the transportation app, if you are buying tickets to the subway station Moscow, because in Kyiv there are subway stations named after big capitals of the post-Soviet countries. And there is a station called Moscow. And so if you buy a ticket from any point to Moscow, or no, sorry, this is not in the train. This is in the actual train app. So this is in the Ukrzaliznytsia train app. If you try to buy tickets to Moscow, the app says error Ukrzaliznytsia, which is the Ukrainian transportation company, basically like Metro North here or like Amtrak. It says Ukrzaliznytsia does not run to the bottom of the sea. Glory to Ukraine. So you can't buy tickets to Moscow through Ukrzaliznytsia, and not only you can't buy tickets to Moscow, they also troll Moscow in the app. Because let me remind you, the Russian warship the flagship warship that was destroyed and sunk was called Moscow. Are you in Moscow? Why would I be in Moscow? Okay, so since the beginning of the full-scale war unleashed by Russia, the State Emergency Service of Ukraine has defused 180,000 explosive devices, 2,101 aerial bombs, and we haven't even started yet. Please support Ukraine as much as you can. Today, I was seeing the videos of evacuations from a couple of different places in Ukraine, and military was evacuating disabled people, and they had to basically drive. They can't drive through certain bridges because those bridges are mined. So they had to drive the wheelchairs in between the mines, in order to evacuate the population from certain places in the east of Ukraine, which is incredible. Everyone survived. The evacuation went successful, but if that isn't the most terrifying, most traumatizing thing a person needs to go through after living in a place that's been shelled for the past 6 months, I don't know what is. Okay, so hi Randy, hi Lauren, hi Ken. Special Operations Forces thwarted the enemy's breakthrough attempt in one of the mission areas. The Special Forces showed a video of a fragment of the operation. I'm going to show that video to you guys. Yeah, mines are a dirty business, but Russia in itself is a dirty business, right? Okay, so there is a note. Ти не відчуваєш себе американізованою? Трошки відчуваю, але в чому? Тобто, ну, я тут дуже давно живу, тобто це є, як це це є щось, що дуже важко запобігти. Чому дуже важко запобігти? Я живу тут 17 років, грубо кажучи. This is a note from a Ukrainian military man, which he left for other military men who would occupy his dugout. Basically, he left a note in the trenches for the next military men who are going to come to take his place. Oh, thank you so much, Wes. The mouse in the dugout, only one. The name is Veronica. She lives right here. She eats cookies and bread. If she is full, she doesn't rustle at night and does not run all over you. Take care of each other and live happily. Oh, hi, Lithuania. So that's a really cool thing, and I thought that this really speaks to the morale and to the character of the Ukrainian military. So if you missed what happened, basically one of the military men who was staying in the trenches had found a mouse, and the mouse has been rustling all over him and running all over him, but instead of getting rid of the mouse, he befriended the mouse and called her Veronica. And he was feeding the mouse, and they were living happily ever after. And then he was moved to another trench, basically. And so he left a note in the trenches for the next person who's going to be there with the mouse to make sure that nothing happens to the mouse. He literally said, the mouse's name is Veronica. She lives right here. She eats cookies and bread. If she's full, she doesn't rustle at night and does not run all over you. Take care of each other and live happily, which I think is really a very telling moment of the Ukrainian military and how our guys and girls are, because Well, this guy in the middle of a war, he was sitting in the trenches, which means that he was in the area of high shelling, was asking his colleague who is going to arrive there after him to take care of the mouse, which I think is so adorable. No, you did not miss the news. I just started the news, and I apologize. I was late today because I had a huge stomach ache. I still do. I am just going to try to persevere through it. In the morning, there was an explosion in the Jankoy in the temporarily occupied Crimea. Details are being released, and now we know that this was an explosion at the railroad base in Crimea. Also, thank you, Xbox, for following, and thank you guys for following earlier. There is a split among the warring invaders in Ukraine, Institute for the Study of the War. According to available information, militias from the unrecognized by the civilized world, LPR, refused to continue hostilities in the Donetsk region and complained about the grueling pace of the offensive outside of the Luhansk region. The militants expressed their indignation publicly. Thank you, Chester. Well, I am currently reading the news about Ukraine and everything that happens in Ukraine. I do so daily at 2 p.m. Eastern. Today I was really late, so I started at 3:30 something, I want to say. But if you stick around, you'll find out how Ukraine is doing because I'm giving you all of the updates as we speak. Russian troops are suffering significant losses in Ukraine and are trying to replenish the army, even at the expense of inexperienced volunteers. But so far, the plan is failing. Even the professional military do not want to fight against Ukraine and refuse to sign contracts. Strategic Communications Department of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. So basically, I've been listening in on a lot of phone calls between intercepted phone calls between Russian military and their wives, mothers, siblings. Hi, Simsim. Siblings, whoever they call back in Russia. And most of them are saying, what the heck is this? We were promised much more money. They were telling us that they would be paying us an X amount every time. And now the dollar has fallen and we're not even getting that. To top it off, they're not paying us what they promised us. Our entire battalions are just being dissolved and ruined. Like they all are basically saying that men are dying like flies because the Ukrainian military does not F around. And they're all like, I did not sign up for this. Our entire battalion refuses to fight. Our entire battalion refuses to do this. Our entire battalion refuses to do that. They're saying that, well, they wanted, some of the professional military wanted to go to the war because they wanted to experience it. They wanted to experience a war, okay? And so most of them are saying, this is not what we expected. This is such a different level of everything that's happening. I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe that I have to deal with this. I can't believe that they sent us here. Literally, people are just dying because Ukrainians have superior weapons. We do not have good command. I mean, they're saying the same thing that they were saying in the beginning, but now they're saying that they're refusing to fight. So a lot of Russian soldiers that are literally on the battlefield are saying that they dig trenches, they hide out, and they're not going to fight. Also, I have seen multiple videos from Donetsk and from Luhansk where Russian soldiers have robbed pharmacies for rubbing alcohol, and they have been drinking rubbing alcohol. I mean, literally to the tune of the boxes of rubbing, how you would go into the storage room in a pharmacy or in a supermarket or anywhere, and you will have boxes upon boxes upon boxes of the same thing, right? So let's say if you're looking for rubbing alcohol, there will be boxes of hundreds of little bottles of rubbing alcohol. So those Ukrainian soldiers or someone who is Ukrainian, partisans, they were filming a video how they came in to the back of the pharmacy. They took out all of these boxes, and all of the little bottles of rubbing alcohol, they're about this big, they were empty. And I mean, it was maybe 20 boxes, 20 shipment boxes, right? So that would have 100 to 200 bottles, which is ridiculous. It's insane. But, the commentary in that video was basically well, that's not surprising. And if an alcoholic has to drink, the alcoholic will drink. Insane. Just insanity. So at this point, these guys are not only like refusing to fight, they're just like, oh yeah, we don't care. Like we literally like, we're just gonna go drink. Oh, hi, Pamela. So yeah. Okay, next update here is agents of Federal Security Bureau, which is FSB, visit Europe under the guise of Russian tourists. That's why Europeans need to take care of their security and carefully check those who want to come into the EU. Former Foreign Minister of Ukraine, Pavlo Klimkin. So one of the other reasons why the European visa ban is incredibly hi, I'm Sapu. Good morning. Why the European visa ban is incredibly important for the European visa ban for Russians is incredibly important is because Russian like intel agents are coming to Europe under the guise of Russian tourists. And they're so good at tricking people, and they're so good at lying, and they're so good at scheming that European authorities simply don't recognize it. They just let them in as if those were tourists, but they're not. They're Russian agents that are literally there to look for intel. And it's been an issue. It's been a huge issue. In fact, Europe had been talking about it multiple times where they've been deporting Russian intelligence agents because they let them in under the guise of tourists. And so when I say that people who scream like, oh my gosh, it's inhumane to not give Russians visas, those people who are who oppose the war should be able to leave for Europe and should be able to organize movements from safety. First of all, it's been 6 months of war. How many big organized movements from Russians to stop the war have you seen? Not a single one, exactly. So Russians are not going there to organize movements. It's, first of all, an average Russian person does not have money to travel to Europe. And I don't mean it as an exaggeration. I mean, average Russian does not make enough money to be able to leave Russia, plain and simple. I'm pretty sure that their median salary for Moscow is $200. That's for Moscow. A European visa is 150 euros. So if you are a teacher in Moscow and you make $200 to $300 a month, you can't afford a European visa because it's 150 bucks. So no average class Russians are going to be able to leave Russia and go to Europe. Not that they were doing anything to begin with, but still, they will not be able to do anything. And the people who are going to Europe are your average oligarchs who are going there shopping and who are going there to have a fun time with their girlfriends in Milan, or people who are hi Jeremy on Twitch, people who are just literally going there to have fun and to enjoy themselves, which is not really the right thing to allow Russians to go enjoy themselves. Meanwhile, a genocide is happening next door that they're allowing to happen. And also another big reason for why we should ban the European visas for Russians is because then they're going to be stuck within their country. And those rich people who actually have an influence will have to face their government and will have to do something about it because, well, they're not going to be able to see anything else. They're not going to be able to be anywhere else. So it's actually like there are a lot of reasons for stopping the visas, and people are always asking me like, oh, but isn't it just symbolic to basically hurt Russians? Is there an actual strategy in this to help Ukraine? Yes, there is. Russians are going to be stuck in their country without an ability to escape. And so because right now, instead of changing their government, what they do is they just leave. And they don't have to face it. And they're just like, okay, I don't like Russia. I'm just going to leave. Now, when they can't leave, they're like, oh, hell, well, I don't like any of this. Maybe they will do something. Maybe they will have to face the government and they will have to face their country and they will have to face the consequences because I don't know if you know this, but most rich Russian people from Moscow consistently travel. They're constantly like in their, I don't know, husband's villa somewhere in Italy, or they're in New York, or they're in London, or they're in Milan, or they're in Arab Emirates. They never actually full-time live in Moscow because it sucks. And they don't like it there. They like saying that they like it there, but they don't necessarily stay there most of the time at all. Thank you, John. Yeah, exactly. So it is a very strategic, high velocity to decline visas for Russians. Also, for those of you who are new or who just joined, I'm also simultaneously streaming this on YouTube and on Twitch. And if you prefer those platforms, the way to find me is it's the same as my TikTok handle. And also my YouTube is linked to my profile. It's right underneath my profile picture. There's a little play button. You can click it and it'll bring you straight to YouTube. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you miss the news at some point, or if you are late to the news or something like that happens, you can always rewatch it because it always stays saved on YouTube and or Twitch. So if you would like to, please head on there, and I would obviously like to see you there. Also, comments on YouTube are always much slower because we always have less people watching it, and so are they on Twitch. So hi Orest. Hi Orest, thank you. Дякую. So if you'd like to go over there, that'd be great. Okay. Another 6 M109 howitzers arrived in Ukraine from Latvia. They are already participating in battles and showing results. Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov thanked his colleagues Artis Pabriks and the people of Latvia for their assistance. China does not help Russia in war against Ukraine and continues to observe neutrality, according to Kuleba. So Kuleba is our foreign minister. And Kuleba is a very interesting guy. Honestly, him and Podolyak might be my two favorite people from the Ukrainian government, because anytime that they respond to quite moronic foreign officials who love to tell Ukraine what to do and what not to do, and they like to give their uninformed analysis on how the war is going, and they're most likely very wrong. And the way he responded to Amnesty is like, he is so elegant in telling moronic foreign officials to F off that I genuinely, I'm a big fan. Every time I see a tweet from him, from Kuleba or from Podolyak, I light up because I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be fantastic. And I know it's going to be so empowering for you as a Ukrainian. And so Kuleba had said today that according to him, at the level of narratives, the Chinese interpretation of the causes of the war coincides with the Russian one. However, the Russian Federation does not receive practical assistance from China. China remains neutral for now. Politically, at the level of narratives, their interpretation of the causes of the war coincides. But at the level of practical support that Russia is so eager for, China remains neutral, the minister said. So this is actually a very interesting analysis, because we always kind of do some guesswork on whether China is helping Russia or whether they're not, because we see that China supports Russian narratives. We clearly see it even on TikTok based on how people are getting banned and how people are not getting banned, and kind of what creators are being pushed more, what narratives are being pushed more. You can clearly see that China takes a side. Right, but realistically, in terms of actual help, China has not helped Russia with anything Russia has ever requested from them, and they have not responded to any single request from Russia to give them help or to give them military equipment or anything like that. So my idea is that China is a very smart player that only cares about their economy. I've heard from multiple Chinese analysts that China's #1 priority is the economy. I mean, literally above all, above everything. They care about economic growth. So they know that they don't want to agree with the West because, well, they absolutely despise the West. So there is no way in universe that they're going to be agreeing with the United States on something that's happening of the world magnitude, right? So they do keep Russia at bay, and they do keep Russia close in case they need Russia. Because in reality, if you look at the numbers of import-export, of economy, of everything, China does not need Russia. Russia needs China. So China is keeping Russia close just in case Russia is going to be useful for them again. And also in order to have a partner if they need one, right? They're also looking at what Russia can give and what Russia presents, because currently they must be incredibly disappointed in what they thought was their number one ally, right? Because they thought that Russia has all of these weapons, this crazy military, and all of these nukes, and it looks like Russia is just a big fat joke. So they're not necessarily telling Russia to screw off because they're not ready, right? They're just kind of playing a very, 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 very long con to see whether they will need Russia or whether they won't. So they're kind of keeping them at bay, being like, look, but we support your narrative. Look, yeah, Ukraine bad. And then Russia asked them for weapons or for money or for other tools. And they're like, well, no, because they also don't want to be sanctioned by the West. So I think they're playing a very, very careful game of seeing what is more convenient for them. And so far, unlike Turkey, they actually have been very successful at sort of staying aside while clearly showing that they're not siding with the West. Because Turkey so far has been really playing like, oh my gosh, look, we are friends with the West and we are staying in touch with Russia just so someone does, just so you know, because someone needs to be in a good relationship with Russia. Look, we're such a good mediator. But realistically, they're just using Russia to make more money for Turkey, which is disgusting. But I digress. Anyways, we will be with you to the end. Kuleba said that Kuleba told us what he talked about with Biden on the eve of the war. The Prime Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine met with the President of the United States on February 22nd. Before the meeting, the people who took part in the meeting in Ukraine left the office, and they came out, and everyone literally threw me a parting look. As if, there was just a consultation of doctors and they decided that you had the 4th stage of cancer, he recalled. The conversation lasted about 40 minutes. Hi, Luann. There was a moment when Biden showed me a photo of his son who died and said to me, Minister, you should always think about your children. So, Kuleba, this happened on February 22nd before the war started on the 24th. And this was between Kuleba and President Biden. And apparently he's saying that when everybody left the room for him to just stay and communicate to Biden, everyone looked at him like, because you know how everyone thought that Russia was going to take Kyiv in 3 days and that Zelensky was going to be murdered and that all of the Ukrainian officials are going to be murdered. So they were all giving him like a parting look. And they were all looking at him like, oh, we feel so sad for you. And he said that Biden showed him a picture of Biden's son who died and said, always think about your children. Like as an advice, get them out of Ukraine because, well, you know what's going to happen to you. And Kuleba reflects on it and he's like, yeah, well, so it's been how many days of the invasion now? How long has Ukraine stood for the 3 days that we were supposed to be invaded in? Just curious. 3 days, you say? The mayor of Slovyansk, Vladimir, confirmed the night strikes in the city. Several neighborhoods suffered. In Lisove, a quarry burned and a dormitory of the Pedagogical University was damaged. Now on to some fantastic news. Video footage from the Jankoy region of Crimea. The power station is on fire. At the same time, the citizens of the peninsula claim there was another explosion in the morning near the military base of the invaders. Also, Pablo, while I do appreciate the compliment, can we use less curse words in Ukrainian while we do that? That would be highly appreciated. So this is the base of the Russians in Crimea. Yeah, Keith, see, Ukrainians did not. That's the thing, Ukrainians has seen Ukrainians have seen the Russian military since 2014, right? Firsthand. We've been fighting the Russian military since 2014. The reason why the Russian military was winning was not because they were superior. It was because we basically didn't have a military. In 2014, when the invasion started, Yanukovych had consciously made every effort in order for us to not have a military. He basically disbanded our military because he was a Putin proxy and he wanted Putin to have an easy access into Ukraine. So when they invaded, we had no one to send there to fight. That's how ATO formed, and that's how ATO formed, and that's how Azov formed. They were volunteer battalions. Well, ATO was just like a battalion of the only trained military men we had, and Azov was a battalion of volunteers at the time because we literally did not have anyone else to send there. And we know what Russian military is like. We've been calling them orcs since 2014. We knew that they're not good militarily, and we knew that we can combat them. It's just that we needed men, we needed weapons, and we needed training. But we never thought that Russia was good army. No, the war in Ukraine has lasted since 2014. The invasion of Ukraine began in 2014 from the invasion of Donbass, specifically Donetsk and Luhansk cities in the Donetsk and Luhansk states. Now, in the international media, Russia posed the invasion of Ukraine as a civil conflict. That's why nobody has heard about it before. Well, Crimea as well, but that was more of like a pseudo-referendum. So yeah. But it began with the invasion of Donetsk and Luhansk. In the village of Chervono-Hrigorivka, Dnipropetrovsk region, as a result of morning shelling, 9 private houses, several garages, and cars were damaged. 2 warehouses with grain and equipment of a local agricultural enterprise were subjected to shelling. The gas pipeline and power line have been cut off, according to the head of the regional military administration, Valentin Reznichenko. I live right now in some English language city. I've been living in New York for the past 11 years, but my family lives in Ukraine, in Lviv. And I was born and raised there, and I moved here at the age of 16 or 17. So I've been here 11 to 12 years. I'm just very bad at counting. Yes, so sorry. There is a Ukrainian person kind of like asking me whether I live in an English-speaking city, and they did it in like Cyrillic letters, but in English. So you know how I kind of speak like this every time I have to read what Lavrov has to say. So they basically did that, and so that's why I responded to them the way that I did. Anyways, during the night, Russian troops shelled 5 of the 9 districts of Kharkiv. Such a radius of fire has not been seen for a long time at this point. The Russian Defense Ministry reports that in the morning in the Maisky area, Jankoy district, in a temporarily occupied Crimea, a fire broke out at the ammunition depot of a military unit. As a result, supplies were blown up. Yes, a fire just broke out at a military unit. You know, our troops are morons. They keep smoking cigarettes and putting them into gasoline. And so every time a moron goes to smoke a cigarette, for some reason we have taught them to spread gasoline all over the base. So it accidentally ignites. It's not the Ukrainian forces. Not at all the Ukrainian forces that keep striking onto Crimea air bases. No. It is just an accidental fire that breaks out every single time because Russian soldiers love to smear the ammunition bases in gasoline while smoking. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Another ship, Brave Commander, with grain left Ukraine for Africa. According to the Ministry of Infrastructure, there are 23,000 tons of wheat on board. Railway under Jankoy damaged due to explosion, according to Aksionov. Aksionov is the pseudo-head of the Crimea. the head of Crimea said that the leadership of the Crimean Railway had decided to stop passenger trains coming from the mainland at the Vladislavovka station. Their passengers will be provided with buses for delivery to the nearest bus station. Yeah, so a railway station was blown up in Crimea, and Russians are saying that this is that happened because they decided to stop passenger trains coming from the mainland. So instead of literally stopping service, they blew up their own railroad. I love that the Russian forces would rather admit that they're completely incompetent and they accidentally explode explosives. Hi, audio producer. And that they accidentally explode explosives and that they accidentally blow up their own, or some idiot smokes a cigarette and puts everything on fire, then admitting that Ukrainians actually struck their air bases and their ammo bases and their ammo depots and their personnel bases. It's so funny. Again, listen to this. Aksyonov, who's the pseudo-head of Crimea, literally says, we decided to stop passenger trains coming from the mainland at the Vladislavovka station. And so the railway got damaged due to explosions. So instead of quite literally, you were trying to tell me that the railway station was not blown up. It just got damaged due to explosions because you wanted to prevent passenger trains from moving? Добраніч. You decided to prevent passenger trains from moving, so instead of just canceling those trains, you decided to blow up a railway station? I mean, geez, things are really different in Russia. Really different in Russia. You know, my mom always says you can't understand Russia using your brain. And I feel like I know where she's coming from now. For my Russian speakers, умом Россию не понять. Anyways, according to Serhiy Haidai, head of the RMA of the Luhansk Regional Administration, Ukrainian defenders repulsed an attack from the Lysychansk refinery. Such photos of the broken city are shown by the head of the Luhansk Regional Military Administration. Serhiy Haidai is that head of the Luhansk Military Administration. I just did not know that they actually specified that at the end. So this is what happened. Thank you for all of the follows. I hope they're for the right reasons. A bit of positive news. Ukraine, for the first time in history, won the medal standings of the European Swimming Championship. The Ukrainian team was represented in 8 disciplines and won all the finals in which they competed. So synchronized swimming championship, Ukraine won in all 8 disciplines. Hello. I'm wondering if you are a troll or not, but there is a person on YouTube saying Ukrainian soldiers hiding in civilian buildings. That's the reason. Yeah, all 22,000 times? Was that Ukrainian soldiers hiding in civilian buildings all 22,000 times that Russia struck on civilian infrastructure in Ukraine? I mean, I'm sure that Russian propaganda tastes better. That's why you love inhaling it so much. And I'm sure that Amnesty International seems like a very, very trustworthy organization for you. But it's just like, did you somehow miss the part where the entirety of the world was outraged and most of the Amnesty's co-founders literally quit their own organization and they co-founded over this article? Did you miss that? Or are you just okay with the fact that Russia loved that article, so that's what you're going with? Also, let me just quickly elaborate for some people who do not understand how military works. So if Russia is shelling cities, there is gonna be fucking military trying to evacuate civilians and help them in the cities near civilian infrastructure. If Russia is shelling civilian infrastructure, what are we supposed to do? Leave those people to die? No. 2, I grew up my whole life in Ukraine, in Lviv, in the center of the city. Oh yeah, same are just hot. Some are just huts. Yeah, for sure. Here's the thing, honey bunny. I grew up in Ukraine, in Lviv, my whole life. Before you try to say something about my accent and the fact that I sound American and that you don't believe I'm Ukrainian and that Biden pays me money and all of that standard scenario, please cut it. I can show you my passport. I don't want to go get it though. Anyways, I grew up in Ukraine. My parents are living in Ukraine. They never moved here. They never wanted to move here. They don't want to move here at all. I grew up in the very center of the city, Lviv, which is one of the largest cities in Ukraine, one of the state centers. And I grew up in front of a freaking military base. It's been there forever, okay? There are soldiers being recruited there and there are soldiers living there. Now that's a military base near civilian infrastructure. Now they don't put us in danger. First of all, military bases exist near civilian infrastructures everywhere because that's where recruitment centers are. If you go to Brooklyn, to a bunch of different neighborhoods, you will find Marine Corps offices. And guess what? There are uniformed Marines there. So what does that justify bombing the building in which they're located on the bottom? First of all, second of all, under Geneva Convention, even if there is military hiding in civilian facilities, that is a war crime of the military of that country. That does not give you an excuse to shell those civilian infrastructures, saying that they have now turned into a military target. No, that is still a violation of a Geneva Convention and still a war crime. So if you want to just, even if in some world there were Ukrainian military hiding in civilian infrastructure, that still does not allow Russia to bomb it and justify it. So no. Anyways, hi Nina, thank you so much. Thank you Tony, thank you everybody. Hi Michael. Thank you Nina. Actually today's weather, oh my gosh, I want ice cream. Thank you. Or ice lolly. The Pentagon showed how a plane for Ukraine is being loaded with ammunition. I will show you that video. And hi, socialist ball. Why would Russians kill a nation they claim to be one of them? I don't know. You know, first of all, we're not one of them. Second of all, they think that we are inferior to them because we're not quite Russian, but we don't want to admit that we're not our own people, that we just derived from Russia. First and second of all, have you looked at Mariupol? Have you looked at the concentration camps in which people are living in cholera and dysentery? And the fact that Russians are not giving them drinking water and the fact that Russians are making them literally eat pigeons? Those are their own, and those are the Russian-speaking people too. So I don't know. I don't know how you're trying to justify Russians bombing civilian infrastructure 22,000 times by saying, oh, Russians wouldn't do that. Why would they bomb a nation they claim to be one of them? Yeah, I don't know why they would bomb a nation that they claim to be one of them. Maybe because they're not actually coming here to liberate anybody. They're coming here to invade territory because we have a lot more resources than Russia immediately does. Do you know Russian? Yes, because you're one of them. Yes, I do know Russian, in fact. You know where my grandparents are from? Russia. You know what they fucking hate? Russia. You know what I fucking hate? Russia. You know why? Because they came here to quite literally murder us. You know what you don't know? Anything. I love when like English speaking trolls come in here to try and tell me what is happening in my country. Like, have you ever been to Ukraine? Could you have pointed out Ukraine on a map 6 months ago? What about 8 years ago? Did you know anything about it? Did you know we speak our own language? Did you know anything about our country? Did you know the name of our president? Did you know anything about the conflict in 2014? No? Yeah, go figure. Your opinion doesn't matter. And you can't tell someone who grew up there, who was born and raised there, what's happening in their country and why a fellow country has been torturing and killing us off for 300 plus years is killing us off now. I'm sure that you have not picked up a history book. You just listened to your whatever like propaganda channels you so much like, and you're like, those Ukrainians are lying to the whole world. But did you know that Russia committed 5+ genocides over the last 150 years on the territory of Ukraine? No? I didn't think so. Did you know how many people Russians killed with those genocides, the organized famines? Upwards of 15 million Ukrainians. You're gonna tell me that Russians came here to liberate us because they consider us their people? Honey, go pick up a book and like stop looking at I don't know Tucker Carlson. Gosh, like that's really not good for your brain. I'm gonna block you now because it doesn't seem like you are able to retain any information, but have a blessed day, a blessed one. Have a day that you deserve. Go keep justifying Russians committing a genocide onto another nation just because you're incapable of reading the news. Okay, bye. Anyways, that was fun. Oh no, I can't block them. Did someone else block them? Hey, mods on YouTube, did you block that person? Because it says that I can't block them anymore because they're already blocked. Did they block themselves? What happened there? Well, if you took yourself out, that's very nice of you. I've never seen trash taking itself out. Ukrainians, bear liars. Okay, first of all, someone was trying to say Ukrainians bear liars, and they spelled bear as like a bear. Like, have you been to Russia way too much? Have you stared at the portrait of Putin way too much? What bears? What are you talking about, honey buns? Sweet stuff. Learn to spell, please. Then come, I hate when people come in here and they start trying to like outsmart me, and they start trying to tell me what's happening in my own country while they can't even spell. And then they're like, oh yeah, I'm American. I'm like, okay, so this is your first language and you're trying to teach me history while you can't even spell the word bear? Yeah, good luck with that. The invaders occupied a reserve control point at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, said the head of the Zaporizhzhia Regional Administration, Alexander Starov. The situation remains tense. Now they're adjusting the evacuation plan from Enerhodar and the radiation risk zone, taking into account the military situation. One of the most significant Soviet monuments for Russia was dismantled in Estonia. We're talking about a T-34 tank in the city of Narva, where Russians make up to 87% of the population. The monument was removed from its pedestal to be moved to the Estonian War Museum in VMZ, and traffic on the Narva-Joensuu road was restricted for safe transportation. So basically in that city, 87% of residents are Russians, and this is basically the city where the Russian military came and liberated Narva, the city, from the German fascist forces. And that monument has been standing there since the Soviet times, because obviously Russians love putting their monuments everywhere for their army and stuff like that. Okay, sorry, there is another lovely YouTube troll. Then why are you telling us about events in your country? I have to know nothing about your country. Okay, well then leave. Hey sir, here's the thing, unlike Russians who are holding Ukrainian soldiers hostage as prisoners of war and literally violating every rule of Geneva Convention, I am not holding you hostage. You're free to leave. This is how the internet works. You find something, you don't like it. Even if the war is over, you will not return because your country was bad before the war. Have you ever been to my country? Do you know anything about my country except for what your Trump-supporting television tells you? Tucker Carlson is very popular these days, huh? Isn't he? Well, honey, here's the thing. It is not for you to decide whether I return to my country and why and what my country is like if you've never even been there. I love you, a couch warrior who's like, I've never left my couch and I have my beer in my hand and my stomach is bigger than my ability to carry it. And I'm going to tell you, I voted against universal health care and I barely make ends meet. I'm an alcoholic, but I absolutely think your country was shit. Yet I have never, ever left my village in Kentucky. So, honey buns, try somewhere else. Anyways, you try that somewhere else. That was cute, very cute, a very cute insult to my country, but you know what? Not gonna work. Anyways, have a day that you deserve. So yes, Estonians removed one of the most significant Russian monuments to the Russian war heroes, whatever. Russian people are super not happy about it. But when are they ever happy? I am very you support Ukraine because your TV say Russians are evil. No, I support Ukraine because it is my country, it's my motherland. I really love it and it is amazing. And also because my family is in danger because there are Russian people that came in and decided to murder everything they see. That's why I support Ukraine, not because of the TV. Also, for the record, I don't watch TV, and before you come at me with your CNN insults, I haven't seen CNN in about 3.5 years. Are we done here? Okay, bye. Anyway, I mean, honestly, I'm just gonna ignore the trolls from now on because I do. But good news is, thank you, Tony. My stomach ache has dispersed. Thank you, trolls. You have cured my stomach ache. I haven't been. You give me joy. Your limited mind and limited ability to think for yourself gives me joy. And joy is endorphins, and endorphins tend to help with general aches around your body. So thank you. I had a giant stomach ache before this, and now, thanks to you, lovely, lovely, lovely MORONS, I feel better. So thanks for stopping by. Anyways, I'm going to keep ignoring the trolls and I'm going to keep going through the news because we will never, ever, ever be able to go through the news if I have to respond to every, it rhymes with Donbass, but an English word. Who comes in here? Anyways, today at 7 a.m. Kyiv time, 2 explosions sounded near the substation in Melitopol. After that, the broadcasting of terrestrial television, which was captured and controlled by the invaders, ceased. According to preliminary information, the transit cable was damaged, said Mayor Ivan Fedorev. Thank you so much, Dima, and thank you so much, Tony. A regional state of emergency has been introduced in the temporarily occupied Crimea after the explosions in the Jankoy region, Russian media writes with the reference to the so-called head of the peninsula. Prior to this, the Russian Ministry of Defense stated that an ammunition depot near Jankoy exploded as a result of sabotage. Oh yeah, so it just exploded by accident. Oh man, yeah, such an accident. Such an accident. Another explosion in the temporarily occupied Crimea. Explosions at a military airbase in the village of Gvardiiske near Simferopol in the temporarily occupied peninsula. Official sources have not yet commented on this information. So, according to official sources, there is another explosion in Crimea, and that is on the Gvardiiske, in the village of Gvardiiske in Simferopol near a military airbase. I wonder what excuse Russians are going to come up with this time because, seemingly there's so many accidental fires happening in Crimea these days. For Ukraine to win this war, it's time to not only help with weapons, but also to support the country's economy, banks, and financial systems. Ukraine does not receive enough Western financial flows, and the cost of the war is $4 to $5 billion a month. So there is a video accompanying it, and I'm going to show it to you, but I'm going to prop the iPad because it's 1.5 minutes long, and usually it is kind of Oh, difficult for me to hold it up that way. Sorry. Because, okay, one sec. Okay. I am going to mirror the video so you guys can see. I'm also going to, oh, hi, Juju. I didn't see you. Mirror your video. Now I'm going to move this down and also mirror the video so you guys can see it well. Okay. Let's go. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Yum. Oh my gosh. Guys, you know you block the trolls and they just come over to YouTube. Okay. Sorry, I was petting Cindy while you guys were watching this, so I'm back. Oh my gosh. Person, you were blocked and you came back with a new nickname? That's adorable. I know you're the same person. Well, I mean, welcome back. This person came back and said, not all Russians are guilty. Oh no. I mean, sure, right. Because, you know, it's just Putin. It's just Putin who, you know, single-handedly comes to Ukraine and starts bombing things. It's him who wears the military uniform. It's him who assays people. It's him who, you know, mines up bridges. Yeah, it's just him. But anyways, I vowed to ignore the trolls, so you have a fun journey talking to yourself. Shoigu, the Russian commander-in-chief, basically, or Russian defense minister, named friendly states of the Russian Federation: Burundi, Republic of Guinea, Cameroon, Mali, Sudan, Uganda, Chad, Ethiopia, South Africa. Those are on the list of Russian friends. Growth of Turkish exports to Russia. Turkey has become one of the main centers of parallel imports. This is what I always stress, is that Turkey is making a ton of money on Russia. Look at that. The figure in purple is 2021. The figure in yellow is 2022. Turkish exports to Russia. Yeah, I don't know how South Africa came to support Russia, but, you know, it is what it is. Russia has increased aircraft activity around Ukraine from the territory of Belarus, Russia, and occupied Crimea. There were almost 150 sorties per day on average. The Ukrainian Air Force detected Russian Su-25 attack aircraft, Mi-24 attacked helicopters, as well as Ka-52 helicopters. The Ukrainian Air Force detected, the command clarified that the enemy's aircraft had not yet entered the Ukrainian air defense operation zone. So Yum says, I don't understand Turkey, Bayraktar, and now trade. So Bayraktar is a private company, Baykar. And Baykar wants to help Ukraine, and Baykar has been very, very generous to Ukraine. However, Turkish government at the head with Erdogan are trying to find all ways to make as much money off this war as possible, and they have been succeeding in doing so because they pretend to play both fields. Also, for those of you who just joined, a lot of you yesterday asked how much money we are at the fundraiser, and we are at $6,600 on the fundraiser out of $10,000 that are necessary to buy 3 night vision equipments for the Ukrainian frontline ambulance drivers. And the reason why we're fundraising for this is because they deliver essential medications during the day and they patch up soldiers during the night. But the problem is they can't turn on their lights during the night because they will be spotted by Russians. So they need those night vision devices because they're currently driving blindsided. And the fundraiser is in the link in my bio. So if you want to donate, please go ahead and look at that link. The link is called fundraiser. And it's called Please Consider This a Birthday Present for Me. So I guess a lot of people might be confused. I still need to change the description. I guess a lot of people might be confused and think that I'm saying like, oh, this money is my birthday present. No, it's just the fundraiser was started on my birthday, and it was a birthday fundraiser to help Ukrainian military. So just a clarification, but it's in link in my bio. So if you go to my profile, it is beacons.ai/Yulia, and it's one of the first links on there. Okay. 22 Russian ammunition depots and 13 Russian military bases have been destroyed over the past week. Data for August 8th to 14th, 2022. The town of Lviv was shelled with multiple rocket launchers for several hours, Zaporizhzhia Regional Military Administration. 1 local resident was unalived, 6 people were wounded, including 3 employees of the power company who were restoring the network. The EU should issue only humanitarian visas to Russians, the head of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Lithuania for the DW. According to Gabrielius Landsbergis, Lithuania effectively stopped issuing all visas to people going on holiday and only issues visas for humanitarian reasons. Okay, wait. One sec. Quote. I need to add more quotes, Squirrel, because I feel like most people have read those quotes already. What were Putin's plans to take over Ukraine? U.S. intelligence data, according to Washington Post. Here are some important points. Back in October 2021, the United States became aware of a possible massive attack on Ukraine. Putin wanted to capture all of Ukraine and even create a threat to Europe. The attack on Kyiv was to happen from 2 directions, Chernihiv and Chernobyl nuclear power plant. It was important it be winter so tanks could pass the swampy terrain. They were supposed to seize Kyiv in 3-4 days, kill Zelensky, and put a puppet government in charge of the country. Separately, Russian troops were to come from the east and pass through central Ukraine to the Dnipro River, and troops from Crimea were to occupy the southeast coast. So, next, to capture almost the entire west of Ukraine. What are my sources? My sources are Reuters. My sources are Die Welt, Deutsche Welle, Die Welt. Thank you so much. Thank you. Flower Dawn. Oh my God, that's such a pretty name. Hi, only human after all. Who says our door is open for Ukrainians who are victims of war. Priority women, note 1835. Why? Because they're of a childbirthing age? That is not creepy at all. Your door should be open to any victims of the war, not just women that you could potentially make your wife. What? Anyways, but so my sources are Reuters, my sources are Al Jazeera, my sources are Deutsche Welle, my sources are Die Welt, my sources are local frontline reporters, my sources are a compilation of sources, but all of them are internationally accredited and verified. No matter how heavy the battles and terrible losses are, tomorrow the sun will definitely rise and the Ukrainian defenders will go again into battle. Consequences of a night rocket attack on an agricultural enterprise in Kramatorsk look like this. Hi, Jenny. Добрий вечір, Jonah. Pax Russica, huh? A music video in support of Ukraine was filmed in Kazakhstan, and this is the video. It is 2 minutes long, so we're not going to watch the entirety of it, but we're going to watch some. Thank you, Heather. Hi, Heather. Yeah, it is Kazakhstan. No, we're almost. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Care about us. They don't really care about us. Ruskies must go back to their own messed up country. Slava Ukraini. Heroyam Slava. I agree. The Kremlin accused some Ukrainian saboteurs of damaging the power transmission line that runs from the Kursk nuclear power plant. At the same time, the Russians did not provide any evidence that the Ukrainians were involved in this. Nikopol, 08/15/2022. The city is located not far from the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, and every day the residents hear powerful explosions from there. After all, Nikopol is constantly bombarded from the territory of the nuclear power plant. Photo Konstantin and Vlada Libero. So here are the photos. Thank you, Paul. Oh. Okay. Familiar face of the Ukrainian president. Volodymyr Zelensky explained why Ukrainians were not warned about the Russian invasion back in October. If we had reported it, then I would have been losing $7 billion a month since last October, and by the time the Russians attacked, they would have taken us over in 3 days. If that were to happen in October, God forbid, during the heating season, there would be nothing left. Our government wouldn't exist. That's 100% sure. Well, forget about us. There would be a political war inside the country because we would not have held on to $5 billion to $7 billion per month. We did not have serious financial programs. There was a shortage of energy resources in the market created by the Russians. We did not have enough energy resources. We would not have been able to get out of this situation, and there would be chaos in the country. The Russians have set up a torture chamber in Kherson. About 70 Ukrainians are held there. The occupation authorities keep people in terrible conditions in the Kherson Reception Distribution Center for children. There is a troll on YouTube. I'm still going to continue ignoring them, but they keep saying that these images of Ukraine look fine to them and it's no problem. So I'm just going to ask whoever is modding YouTube to remove them because I don't even want to let them talk to themselves, honestly. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is going to visit Ukraine again. He will hold a meeting with the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, and the president of Turkey, Erdogan. Guterres will visit Lviv and Odessa. The United Kingdom has denied Russia's claims that a British reconnaissance aircraft allegedly violated the Russian Federation's state border on Monday. A representative of the UK Ministry of Defense stated this in a commentary to CNN. Ooh, the wild CNN. The wild CNN. Now I'm going to be accused of loving and dreaming CNN and writing CNN articles myself and falling for propaganda and being paid by Biden because I mentioned CNN. How many brains are exploding right now just because I mentioned it? Please tell me. How many little troll-up brains are exploding? Let me know. I would like to know. So fascinating. Anyways, so let's see if there are, Serbia abandoned the idea of creation of a Russian military base on the territory of the country and will train the army according to NATO standards. Why did they abandon the idea of the creation of the military base? Might that be because of HIMARS? Is that because? Thank you, Paul. Thank you, John. The Verkhovna Rada increased defense spending. The Verkhovna Rada, which is the main parliament of Ukraine, basically the equivalent of like Senate and House, well, Senate rather, in the United States, approved the allocation of additional expenses for 270 billion hryvnia through domestic borrowing. 287 people's deputies, which are basically our senators, our senators voted for the bill. Oh, thank you for taking that out. Thank you, Paul. I was about to comment. There was a troll that said, you will look too good in a bun. Can you try? Fatlife.com is a different website. I'm sure that for someone for whom it's as hard to spell as for you, might have gotten confused. You're in an app, exit out of it, go to App Store. I'm sure they have it. I don't know, but you might also want to visit their website. There are plenty. There is Pornhub, and you can search by fetishes. There is FetLife. I'm pretty sure you can search by fetishes too, because you know. And then there is Tinder, Bumble, and alike. Take it easy, Karen. Well, I don't want to, Ken. Also, calling somebody Karen is such an lame insult. Just because I don't let a man objectify the fuck out of me while I'm talking about bombing of my country, I'm not a Karen. I'm just a woman who doesn't take shit. So, you don't have to announce your departure. You can just leave. I'm not gonna miss you. It's fine. Anyways. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you. Belarus is preparing for a massive missile attack on the territory of Ukraine in the coming weeks. Belarusian Gayun. It is reported that Belarus has up to 14 S-400 air defense systems and about 60 missiles for them. At the airfield, there are from 10 to 14 S-400 Triumph air defense systems, 3 Kasta 2E2 and 4 8Y6 Podlyot Raiders, 2 Panzer air defense systems. The preparation of a missile attack is also evidenced by the fact that since the last massive shelling on July 28th, not a single rocket has been fired from the territory of Belarus towards Ukraine. So it's going to be Ukrainian Independence Day on August 24th, and if I were to guess, I would think that it's probably being prepared for that. Let's see, because the president of Turkey is traveling to Ukraine to discuss ending the war by diplomatic means. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, during his visit to Ukraine, plans to discuss with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky steps to end Russia's war against Ukraine by diplomatic means by revitalizing the mechanism created to export Ukrainian grain to world markets, writes the Turkish state agency Anadolu Agency. Erdogan and Zelensky will also discuss all aspects of Turkish-Ukrainian relations and the level of strategic partnership. So here's the thing. This is how to end the war in Ukraine by diplomatic means. Get Russia the fuck out of our country. That will be a very diplomatic solution, and the war will end because we are not going to have to. We're not going to have to defend ourselves. And I'm pretty sure Zelensky has enough brain capacity to say no to Erdogan and be like, haha, no, thank you. But anyways. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to visit Ukraine as well. Andriy Shevchenko and Lev Schreiber, ambassadors of the United 24, visit Borodyanka and launch a youth support program for Ukraine. Andriy Shevchenko is an incredible, very, very famous Ukrainian soccer player. He played in Chelsea and he played in Milan. And Lev Schreiber is an actor, I want to say. The goal is to attract as many young people as possible to help Ukraine at various levels, from information support in local networks to global involvement of school and university communities. The first participants in the new youth program will be the sons of Shevchenko and Schreiber. It should be noted that this program, as well as further plans to raise funds, projects for Independence Day, and ways to keep the attention of the world community after 6 months of the war, Shevchenko and Schreiber discussed with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. An explosion destroyed about 100 Russian soldiers in temporarily occupied Lysychansk. Oh, we love to hear that. There was a strike in Lysychansk today. I think that we will be pleased with information about 100 dead non-ordinary soldiers of the 2nd Army Corps of the Russian Federation. These are not Wagnerites. This is the regular army of the Russian Federation, Haidai said. The video shows the same place where the explosion took place. Let's take a look. Yeah, Lev Schreiber is Ukrainian American. Say they don't really care about us. Oh no, that's not hateful. That's just justice. You like justice being served. Can you tell if my donation went through? Yam, did you donate through the website? Through the Spot Fund? View dashboard. 1 second. I don't see any changes on Spot Fund. It's still at 5,360. So I don't think it did. Donating for what? To buy night vision devices for Ukrainian frontline ambulance drivers because they can't, basically they drive blindsided during the night because they have to, listen, hip hop homie, just go fuck off. Like, just like go where you came from, you know, which is not from this page. Keep scrolling, honestly. Anyways, but so yes, for Ukrainian frontline drivers who drive ambulances because they can't drive at night with lights on because they will be spotted by the Russians. So they basically drive blindsided. So there is a link in my bio for a fundraiser. The fundraiser is literally called Fundraiser, and it says, consider this my birthday present. Now, this is very awkward wording, and I fully comprehend that people probably think that I mean like, oh, this money is for my birthday. No, it isn't. It's just that it's a birthday fundraiser. Thank you, Flower Dawn. So it's a birthday fundraiser, and we are aiming to raise $10,000. We are, so it says that we have raised 5,360, but we also have Venmo and PayPal donations. And so together with that, we have raised $6,600 out of $10,000 necessary to buy 3 of those devices for 3 ambulances. So if you're interested in donating, you can find my... Oh, thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Oh my gosh, Jenny just donated, and we are at $6,650 now. Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. So we are now at $6,650. So yeah, basically, the fundraiser link is in my bio. If you go there, it's called a fundraiser, and it's still going on, and we're aiming to raise $10,000. And I don't know where I was before I was saying thank you, Jenny, because my ADHD is very ADHD. But yeah, you can find it in my link in bio, and my link in bio is beacons.ai/Yulia, and it's literally under my profile picture. Okay, so I also think that we are pretty much done. Okay, U.S. knew about Russia's attack on Ukraine as early as October 2021, according to Washington Post. And we talked about it a little earlier, but this is a bit of a more written out, a little bit of a more explained article. So let me read this out too. Intelligence data based on satellite imagery, intercepted conversations, and other sources of information allowed the United States to draw up a rough plan for Russia's invasion of Ukraine back in October 2021. Attack on Kyiv from Chernihiv and Chernobyl. Winter weather should have contributed to the advance of the tanks. For 3-4 days, Russian special forces had to find Zelensky and remove him, killing him if necessary. In its place, it was planned to put a puppet government. In a few weeks, another group of troops was to take the south and the left bank of the Dnipro and then move west. Oh, thank you, Paul. And I think that is all that we have for today. Oh, no. We do have another... Oh, Latvia is raising funds for Bayraktar for Ukraine. The initiative was published on Tuesday, August 16th. In total, 5 million euros must be raised for the Latvian Bayraktar. One of the initiators was musician Rolf Eilens. Also, I just got a PayPal donation as well. Thank you, Mike. I just got a PayPal. Let me see. Katya. Thank you. Katya just donated as well. So we are now at $6,670 for the night vision devices. Okay, so Latvia is raising for a Bayraktar for Ukraine. $5 million is what they need to raise. It's going to be, I'm sure they're going to be able to raise it. Latvia is incredibly amazing, and Latvia is one of our best partners. So is Lithuania, so is Estonia, so is Poland, and so is the UK. You guys have really stood up for us a million times, so thank you very, very, very much. Just don't say Katya, okay. And Ireland too. Yeah, it doesn't, I don't see it. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's still at 5,000. Maybe it didn't, does it show in your account that it went through? If it doesn't show in your account, then it might not have, maybe the site didn't, then it might have not gone through. But thank you so very much. Hi, Mauricio. Thank you, Adriana. So we are now at $6,770. Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Adriana. I think you will be Russian at the end of it all. I think you will be blocked. Oh, look at that! I'm a psychic. I think that you did not predict it correctly, because I'm never going to be Russian if I don't want to. First of all, I have way more options before I would have to become a Russian citizen. But I also would never become Russian because I was not. I don't live down the road from you, Rich, and I unfortunately Venmo, PayPal, or website donations. But yeah, so basically, but I was right and you got blocked, so look at that. Also, let me read to you the British intelligence update for today. The surface vessels of Russia's Black Sea Fleet continue to pursue an extremely defensive posture, with patrols generally limited to waters within sight of the Crimean coast. This contrasts with heightened Russian naval activity in other seas, as is typical for this time of year. The Black Sea Fleet continues to use long-range cruise missiles to support ground offensives, but is currently struggling to exercise effective sea control. It has lost its flagship, Moskva, a significant portion of its naval aviation combat jets, and control of Snake Island. The Black Fleet's currently limited effectiveness undermines Russia's, thank you so much, Angie, overall invasion strategy, in part because the amphibious threat to Odessa has now been largely neutralized. This means Ukraine can divert resources to press Russian ground forces elsewhere. And also, thank you, Adriana. I don't know if you heard a thank you, but because I know that if you were out on the website, then you probably didn't hear the thank you, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody hears their thank yous. So thank you for your donation. Also, thank you, Paul. Welcome to the spy lair. I will never get tired of saying welcome to the spy lair. It's so creepy and so cute at the same time. President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, conversation with French President Emmanuel Macron. The heads of state discussed the situation at the front and Russia's nuclear terrorism at the Zaporizhzhia NPP. Thanked friends for the weighty defense support. We discussed the tightening of macro-financial assistance to Ukraine and challenges in the field of food security. We must increase sanctions pressure on the Russian Federation. Canada freezes Russian assets and property for almost $320 million. Thank you, Paul. And I think that Scholz opposes the idea of banning Russian citizens from issuing Schengen tourist visas. I wonder why. That's not news. That's pretty expected. Anyways, thank you, John. Thank you, Flower Dawn. You guys are incredible. So on that note, we are done with the news portion of the evening. I could stay for another 10 minutes and answer questions if you guys have any. If you guys have if you guys have any questions, I will be I'm incredibly happy to stay and answer them. Also, we just got another donation. Thank you, Randall. And we are now at 7,000. Ow! Oh, I see. Thank you, Scooter. Thank you, Scooter. We're now at $7,795. Wow, math is really hard for me, but I am trying. Oh. Verkhovna Rada is just one house of parliament, and no, we just have Verkhovna Rada, and that's about it. We don't have any more. We just have various different parties and different MPs. Thank you, Dave. So we are at $6,800. Yay! Yes, I think. Space NASA, thank you. Hi, Mariana. Good to see you. How are you? Getting closer, I know. What is your take on the situation in Bakhmut? Well, Bakhmut is an incredibly important city for both Ukraine and Russia. Well, I guess rather for Russian offensive. And Bakhmut, I don't know if the city will stand up to it, but I know we will get it back. What time is it there where I am? I'm in New York City, and it's 5:15 p.m. Привіт! Привіт, Львів! Дуже приємно! Дуже приємно! Привіт, Львів! Hi, Kat! Oh my gosh, good to see you, Kat! Hi, Kat! Good to see you! Привіт, Львів! Я також з Львова, дуже приємно! Oh, hi, Mandela! Hi! Hi, guys! Oh, so you're also in New York. Cool. Oh. I think we just got another donation. Let me see. Hi, Denmark. Good to see you. Весь Львів на зв'язку, так? Oh, we just got $1,000 donation from Yum, and we are now at $7,800. So we are so close to the goal. We're only $2,200 away from the goal, pretty much. Yes, I just saw. Thank you so much, Yum. So 7,800, I will recalculate everything once again because I need to add Venmo and PayPal separately from the fundraiser website. So I will do that in the evening, and I will post an Instagram story about it, and I will also post a Twitter thing, a tweet. Hi, Kay. Oh my gosh. Good morning. Oh my God, Kay. Why are you not asleep? It's so early where you are at. Yeah. It's okay, Heather. People only donate if they can. Not everybody should feel pressured to donate. If you can donate, and if it's okay for you and you can afford to donate, please do. If you can, please don't feel pressured. Is your IG handle the same as here? Yes. Flower Dawn, thank you so much. Enjoy your day, night, evening, morning, depending on where you're from. All of my social media is at Yulia. Odessa, Slava Ukraini. Heroyam Slava. And also, guys, if you would like to, if you are in a different time zone than I am and you might not be able to normally make my news streams, I am on YouTube and Twitch. It's the same as here at Yewleea. And I basically all of my news streams are recorded there. So if you miss it one day, or if you miss it one day, and if you are not here, or if you're late or something like that, then you can always find it on Twitch and YouTube in real time and post facto. And yeah, and also, no, there isn't really like a deadline. I think I put the fundraiser for 2 weeks. I was just Дякую, Ivan. I was just trying to do it for my birthday, and basically, the sooner the better. I am planning to hopefully be able. So I'm talking to my lawyer tomorrow about travels, and I'm hoping to be able to go to Ukraine in September. So if all goes well, then I might just be bringing these night vision devices in my suitcase. If not, then I will either transfer them to my dad for him to buy it in Europe, or we can talk to Taras, who is the Frontlines coordinator for a lot of humanitarian aid. And yeah, right? And we will figure it out with him, because he is the one who, oh, wait, I received another donation. Wait. We are at $8,000. Guys, we're at $8,000. We just got $200 from someone. I don't know who, because their name doesn't show. But we just got... We're at $8,000. Wait. Web. Oh, it might be Pamela. It might be Pamela. Or it might not be Pamela. It's too small of a little profile picture for me to know. But thank you so much. So we're at $8,000 in the fundraiser, and yeah. Well, guys, you were incredible as always. Oh, Pamela, see? I saw the hair and I was like, this might be Pamela because it doesn't show your name. Thank you, Pamela. Hi, Kay. Hi, Arabella. Oh my God, I feel like you guys have been here this whole time and I haven't noticed. Hi, Candy. I've been a little bit discombobulated today. But oh well, guys, thank you for being here. I will see you later in the evening. I do need to go because I am most likely meeting Irina again, and we are going to go see the little island, the park. And no, those are my old glasses. I just sometimes switch them out, you know. But yeah, we're gonna go to a little island in New York. We are at $8,050. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Maria. Yeah, that's true. I mean, once push comes to shove, we will obviously figure it out. But tomorrow I'm going to talk to the lawyer first, make sure that everything is in order. And then we're going to be figuring that out. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so very much. And I will see you later tonight. Have a good day. Bye, guys. Thank you, Karine. Bye. And thank you, everybody, for donating. You're so amazing. You guys have no idea how incredible you are and how much we all appreciate you as Ukrainians. And thank you, Dave, for another donation.